I spent years of my life in a very cluttered home because I thought I just wasn't a good organizer. If I just bought more organization or just figured out the right system, it would solve my problem. So today, let's talk about how I unburied myself from all of my clutter once I realized that a lack of organizing wasn't the problem. The real problem is that I had stuff that was spilling over on top of what was already my everyday mess. So everyday mess is things like the kitchen getting messy at lunchtime, or the dishes, or the laundry, or the toys that the kids always play with. These are things that you can expect every day or often to clutter up your home, making it feel messy, and you need to clean it. This is very different from the stuff that's actually surrounding your everyday mess that's not really getting used, that's not being utilized. This is your clutter. So the problem is not that you don't have enough organization or that you're not good at organizing. The problem is that you need to go through and distinguish what is clutter and what is not, and then find homes for all your stuff. I like to start by decluttering the concealed areas of my home. This might feel a little unexciting, and so you might be tempted to start decluttering the visible areas of your home. But I like to work backwards on this, especially if your home is very cluttered and you don't have a lot of homes for your stuff. Things just kind of get piled in catch-all areas or in your entryway, and there's just kind of no rhyme or reason. Working backwards is an amazing way to tackle this. So you're going to work on the concealed areas of your home. Generally, these are going to be the permanent homes for your stuff. This is where the actual organization solutions generally go and where they fit. Take the junk drawer for an example. This is going to be home to many different items. You need to get into every single one of them, touch the items, and start decluttering there. The nice thing is that a lot of times it's in these concealed areas of the home that a lot of stuff that we don't need or use actually gets buried, which is perfect because you can make a lot of decluttering progress here. Sure, it's not visible when you're walking through your house, but yes, it makes a big difference and you can get a lot out of these areas. It's the stuff that you forgot you even had. It's the stuff that you put like, it's broken, I'm gonna fix it later, I'm gonna stick it in the closet, in the drawer. Only put back into that space the stuff that you know you use and that you need. Everything else essentially can get decluttered. In fact, I would love to know what it is that holds you up the most. Is it that I spent money on this item? Is it was a gift? It was I can see the future potential of the item. What is it that makes it really hard to let the item go, even if it's something you know you haven't used in a really long time? I would love to help you out. Let me know in a comment. Try and be ruthless. I find that's the best approach, is just attack it. Any organization system that you already have going on in your house, get into every single one of those. Every single basket, every single container and bin, because these are going to be where you're going to start when you finally realize, okay, I'm ready to organize. You're going to start with the stuff you have. So touch every single one of these areas, and this could take you an entire year. Don't feel like this needs to take a weekend, but you're going to eventually have touched every single one of these areas. Work at your own pace. 10 minutes makes a huge difference. But if your entire house is a mess, then start in one area and don't move on until that particular area has been decluttered. If you don't really have organization systems going on at all in your house, that is totally fine. Do not get discouraged. Just use Ziploc baggies to keep things contained. Really, that's all organization is containing items. If you find yourself, after you've completed a decluttering project from a concealed area, and you find stuff that you actually do want to keep, but you know it just doesn't belong there. You've kind of lazily been storing it in that drawer or in that cupboard, but you know that's not really where the item belongs or where you want it to live. So at that point, you can ask yourself two questions. First, where would I use this item most often? That is so helpful to me. Sometimes the where would I look for it first doesn't help me as much because I have no idea. I don't know where I would look for it first. And this could also be a cue or a clue that you can really declutter the item. But if you think, where would I use this item most often? Because you've already decided, let's say that you're going to keep it, that you use it. Where would you use it most often? In the kitchen, in the bathroom. Take it there and put it into a concealed space. It's all right if that area hasn't been decluttered yet, because you're going to get to it. At least that item is where it belongs, and you've kind of essentially created a home for it just by putting it in the correct area. We've got to talk about catch-all areas next, because this is where I find I generally put items that I don't know where they go, or let's be honest, I'm just being lazy. Here is an example of a catch-all area in my home. Even people like me who focus a lot on decluttering and organizing their space have situations like this, and I have to deal with it too. Generally, they're items that I have just not taken the time to relocate. This needs to go into a special bin and have the date put on it. And I've got a couple things that I just need to set back on the refrigerator. A wedding picture that can go down in the basement with the rest of our wedding stuff. It's random, right? Catch-all areas, a birthday party invite, another little craft that my daughter did that needs to be put somewhere. And I'm fine displaying stuff, but that's not where they permanently live. You know what I mean? My car keys, I've got some money, albeit not very much. I have some crayons. Oh, these are actually Band-Aids. They look like crayons. These need to go into the bathroom. So you see what I mean by a catch-all area. Random stuff. None of it actually belongs here. This is all stuff that's just kind of landed here out of laziness, or maybe I don't know where it goes, right? If I'm kind of at the beginning of this journey, I'm like, I have no idea. I haven't created art bins. I haven't created a special spot for first aid. I don't know, like it's all just a big mess. Here is why I say don't start in the visible areas of your home. Because let's say this counter is an example of a clutter hotspot for me, is very visible. It's super, super tempting for me to start here because I see it every day and it's driving me crazy. Here's the problem. If I haven't already designated a space, cleaned out a tub so that I now have a place to store stuff like this, then I'm kind of out of luck, because I just don't know what to do with this. I'm going to give up. I'm not even going to try. So if I have started with the concealed areas of my home and I've touched all of those spaces, I can think in my mind, oh, I know exactly where I need to put the Band-Aids, in that empty bin under the bathroom sink that I just decluttered. There's tons of room up there. And this is exactly where I would look for Band-Aids or use them most often, in the bathroom. Oh, I just got done decluttering in my kids' closets, and there's that empty storage tote on their shelf. I can totally turn that into a little art bin. So you see, if you've already touched and decluttered these concealed areas of your home, then a catch-all space like this becomes a lot easier to declutter. Okay, here's another very specific and real example of what happens if you don't declutter the concealed areas of your home. I'm thinking to myself, this is all stuff I like. The kids love it. We love to be crafty and artsy and homeschooly and do all those fun things together. But the problem is this area is spilling over, which means I have too much in this space. I can't maintain it. I should be able to maintain comfortably every area of my home, whether it be concealed or not. So if I have an area that looks like this and I just for the life of me cannot keep it organized, that means I have too much in this space. Doesn't mean I have to donate all of it or most of it. Maybe this is stuff that I just need to cycle through, like you do a toy rotation. Maybe we need to just do a educational, rotation or something like that. But here's the problem. Where am I going to put our everyday color crayons if this whole thing is spilling over? If it's everyday mess, the stuff we use all the time, mixed with other random things that we don't use as often, or I need to do a rotation. It makes it very difficult when you're going to declutter your hot spots, your clutter hot spots in your home, if this is what you've got to work with. Now, if I can get this area completely under control, declutter what we don't use, and even leave room to spare, then as I'm going through the other areas of my house, I now have a real home, a functioning home for the stuff that I want to put here and use. So decluttering the hidden areas of your home is so important. Obviously, this is like my next project. I really need to work on this. So start here. Even if it's not exciting, even if it's a little overwhelming, start here. If it's all stuff you want to keep, fine, that's totally fine. You're just going to need to do a rotation, and you know that you've decluttered the right amount when you can keep this area under control. Clearly, I haven't done that yet. So remember, if you're feeling like, I just need to organize my space, my house is just so messy all the time, I can't keep it under control, I need more organization. Remember, that is actually your last step. Don't start there. You will only spend way more money than you need to and frustrate yourself because you still have too much stuff. You've got to start with decluttering and finding homes for your items. What area of your home is the most frustrating to you right now? Where are you losing items? Where are things going to die and to get broken? What drawer won't open? Let me know in a comment. I cannot wait to cheer you on. Thank you so much for being here. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.